Omnath, Locus of the Roil versus Urza, Lord High Artificer. Don't know if I have seen an Urza deck in 1 versus 1 yet, so this should be interesting. If we had green in that hand, I would keep it, but we don't, so we'll throw it back. Gonna keep that one though. And let's put the hardened scales back into the deck. Yeah, we can grab any coloured mana that we need with Cultivate and the Chromatic Lantern. And our opponent starting the game with a Gemstone Caverns. We'll just play out the forest and pass the turn. Yeah, the Gemstone Caverns taps for a colourless. If it has any luck counters on it, then it adds 1 mana of any 1 colour, so our opponent is ahead on mana already. And getting down an Eco Wellspring to draw a card. We are just going to slow roll things out here. Going in for the Cultivate next turn, I imagine. Omnath, Locus of the Roil, is 4 mana in Teamer for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. And whenever a land enters under your control, put a plus counter on an elemental, and if you control 8 or more lands, you draw a card. Now they might have counter magic held up here, so I'm going to go for the Chromatic Lantern because Cultivate can get us into 2 pieces of mana, unlike the Chromatic Lantern. And there's a mana drain. We're up against a really spiky player here. Urza, Lord High Artificer, is a 1/4 for 4 mana in mono blue. It enters the battlefield with a construct token that has its power and toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. You can tap an artifact for blue, and then for 5, shuffle your library, exile the top card, and you can play it for free. Tapping down the construct and the Eco Wellspring for mana. And then going for Mystic Forge. Yeah, haven't seen this card played yet. Look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can play it if it's an artifact or colourless non-land card, and then tap and pay a life to exile the top card of your library. A Lotus Petal has come out as well. They don't have to sacrifice that for mana while Urza is in play, but use the mana from the 2 artifacts to get down a Silvermere. There's a Kadama's Reach as well. I think we are already too far behind here, but it may be that our opponent just empties their hand onto the board and can't actually do anything else. Let's just fix our Teamer colours here. And it may be that we have to go for the Cultivate next turn as well, just to try and keep up on mana. Oh, that is, yeah, Vedalken Archmage will definitely keep our opponent in cards. So getting down an Omnath is going to be one of our priorities, I think. Krark-Clan Ironworks, that's a combo piece. Tapping down the Krark-Clan Ironworks for mana, and then sacrificing the Eco Wellspring for card draw and mana. This thing can sack artifacts for 2 colourless. Urza's Incubator comes down. Don't know what they're going to name with that, but that will draw them a card with the Vedalken Archmage because it's an artifact. And they have named Human there. And then a Manifold Key as well. Untaps a target artifact, and then for 3 and tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn. They are up to 6 cards in hand now. Decided to sack the Lotus Petal to the Krark-Clan Ironworks, and they are going for a Sol Ring that will get them into more mana and more card draw with Vedalken Archmage. And then the Tribute Mage only costs 2, thanks to the Urza's Incubator, so they can now search for an artifact with CMC 2. They went for Ethereum Sculptor. That will make artifacts cost less. And obviously drawing a card with the Ethereum Sculptor, and then tapping it for mana to go for Fabricate, search for an artifact. They might have some kind of combo on board. I don't know what it is. If they do, they could have... Oh no, they couldn't. I was thinking of the Future Sight, Ethereum Sculptor and Sensei's Divining Top combo, but Sensei's Top is banned in 1 versus 1. They went for a Skull Clamp. I don't know if there's a whole lot of anything we're going to do here. I think we just have to cultivate and try and get into something off of the Maelstrom Wanderer, perhaps. Or we could go for Muldrifter and Omnath if we've got the mana. Yeah, so we'll just go like that. and I don't think we want to go for Chandra. No, I don't really see much point in doing that. Let's just pass the turn. Alright, eventually, after a long time of waiting, deciding to cast the Skull Clamp, drawing yet another card off of the Vidalcan Archmage. And then the Codex Shredder, they may well get the Fabricate back with that. A free Mana Vault as well. This looks like some kind of Cheerios build. Hence the reason that they went for the Ethereum Sculptor, I imagine. Yeah, it is a stacks build by the looks of it. That is a static orb. As long as it is untapped, players can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap steps. So we will see if our opponent is actually going to get any kind of win off here, or if they're just going to play Solitaire Magic. The Construct hasn't swung into us once, and it could have dealt a lot of damage to us over the course of this game. Equipping the Skull Clamp to the Silvermere, and that will draw our opponent a couple of cards. They might be trying to storm off here. Even less mana, having to go into artifacts with the Foundry Inspector. In response to the Pithing Needle, I'm going to crack this land just in case they name the Misty Rainforest. They go for Abandon Hope. I don't even know what that is. No, it must just be one of the first cards in the list, because it's a black card. I'll put it up on the screen. Psymaster Thopterist will get some more Thopters into play. A Basalt Monolith, a Thopter and a card draw. I do hope my opponent actually does something at the end of all this. Trinket Mage goes for another Cheerio card. Mere Retriever coming down after the Mana Crypt. They don't even have to pay for that, so we'll see what they want to get back with that if they decide to clamp it. A free Lightning Greaves as well. A lot of these low cost artifacts are coming down for free thanks to both Foundry Inspector and Ethereum Sculptor being in play at the same time. Alright, finally going through to combat. We'll see if our opponent actually wants to swing in with the Construct. Well, that counts as a win in my book.